Fellas, Colin coming to you. Talked about giving you a couple back and hamstring strengthen exercises, some more with some accessory work. I want to challenge you guys for the next 30 days to try to do this each and every day. I will do the same because I could benefit from this just as much as you can. So what I got is a little video to demo the movements. Basically all you'll need is yourself, a towel, and a smooth surface where you can get some good traction, and then if anything, maybe a couch or a chair for some elevated work as well. So first one, just to kind of warm up, face up and face down scorpion. You guys know the drill here. Shoulder blades on the ground, hands to the side, legs straight. This is great for warming up that back. Think about 10 total, so 5 on each side, and then I'm going to flip around on my stomach. Same thing. Loosen up that torso and that back. All right, face up, face down scorpion. Movement number 2, we're gonna go through a fire hydrant. We've done this with the hip halo, but if we don't have the luxury of having one of those, we can still do a nice static hold. Think about a 1-second pause. So I'm on my hands and knees, tighten that midline, lift and hold, lift and hold. Think about roughly 7 per side. Making sure that knee goes straight out, right? Not back, not forward, straight out. 7 on each side. After that, this is where I grab my handy dandy towel, roll it up, and I'm gonna go through some glute hip bridges, right? So I'm gonna place my heels on the ground, get my shoulders flat on the ground. I like to brace my arms out to the side, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let my legs slide out to a straight position, and then lift my hips up into that hip bridge. So it's gonna look like this. Starting position, lift up, feel that in the glutes and the low back, right, down and up, and you'll feel those hamstrings fire with that. So roughly 10 total on there. If I want to scale up, and I highly recommend trying this, think about 7 per side for a single leg version, same concept, but now one leg's gonna be straight out. So I start flat on the ground, lift those hips high, feel that hamstring activate, and extend that foot back down to the ground. Lift up, hips high, same on the other leg. There's the single leg version. I'm going to take the same concept and now go to an elevated surface. So I can use a couch, a chair. I'm going to start with my feet on that elevated surface. And just think about a hip bridge, right? Same thing, staying tight in that core, slow, lower, and extend, right? 10 reps here, and now I can go to an elevated surface, one leg straight, lift, and down. 7 on the other leg as well. Make sure those knees are in line with one another. Lower those hips to the ground, and up, feel those hamstrings fire. After the elevated surface hip bridges, I'm going to return to that towel, and I'm going to start in a standing position, very similar or a version of our Cossack squat. So one leg stays, or one foot stays flat on the ground. I'm going to straighten the other leg, fighting to keep my chest up and let those hips sink. I'm going to bring that sliding foot, toes up towards the ceiling. So sink down, like so, and up. Right, roughly 5 on each side. There. My foot just sliding on that towel. Switch sides. Sit down and up. And up. 5. I'm going to do that same movement pattern, but now I'm going to rest one knee on the ground and start with that leg straight. So now all I think about is squeeze the glutes, but then sink the hips back. So here's the starting position, and then sink down as that leg sinks down, and squeeze up, keeping that leg straight, and down, and up. 5 on each side. I'll show you on the other leg. Right, the leg is in line, it's just out. Think about flexion in that back foot, hips back, and sink and bring those hips forward. Hips back and forward. 5 there. Then I'm gonna go into some glute negatives. This is where I can still use the end of the couch, or if you have a significant other, they can anchor your feet, right? For this, I'm gonna use the towels as a little knee pad. So I'm thinking about from my knee to my shoulder joint, one solid line, keeping my hamstrings engaged, slow, lower. My hands are the brake, so I don't face plant. Slow, slow, slow. And then hands out. Press yourself back up. Slow. And down. Right? I'm gonna do 10 of those. Last but not least, let's go through a 3-position hip hinge static hold. So I can use it into the table if I need to. I'm gonna challenge myself with 10 seconds. So what I wanna do is try to stay as upright as possible. I'm gonna lift this leg up. If I need to, a little knee bend, but try to keep that leg as straight. Try to hold for 10 seconds. Here's position 1. Good, right? Next, I'm gonna open my knees, 45-degree angle, and extend. Try to hold, right, for 10 seconds there. And then last but not least, very similar to standing fire hydrant, I'm gonna lift that knee out and then straighten that leg. Try not to bend so far over. If I need to, I can hold on to something and hold. And keep that leg as straight as possible for 10 seconds. And I'm gonna repeat on the same side. Let's do that for the next 30 days. Let me know how your back feels.